Hello.
How are you all? I'm nearly dropping the camera here.
Don't.
It's a good start for life, isn't it? Like I always something always goes wrong, and once my cat nearly pushed over the camera, so I'm hoping she won't do that today. Shall we start by you guys saying who you are, what you're doing, and then we jump straight into all of the questions?
Of course, yeah. So my name is Matthew. I'm the family advisor manager at Gestlife, and this is Amaya.
I'm the legal director of Gestlife. I'm just
Take them out. Sorry, because I can't hear you. Let's try it without. Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
okay. Well, I'm Amaya. I'm the legal director at Gestlife. And well, we're here to talk a little bit about surrogacy and well, all the all aspect that you said it before. And
Yes, I'm Simone. I'm the German family advisor. So the three of us, we will be at Berlin for the Wish for a Baby, and I will be the one also being able to speak German. So I'm very happy to be there.
Amazing. It's always nice to have a German person on the stand because especially when it's coming to a process like surrogacy, if you want to dive into that and learn about it, it's quite nice to have someone who speaks your language. I know people manage either way, but it's just that extra layer of security, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. At the last time in Cologne, we had the same experience. It was really nice being able to speak in German. Some approached me in English, and I was no, I'm German. We can speak in German, and it was a lot easier for them.
I always get so confused at the event because I swap between German and English as well, and but it's really nice to speak in German.
Yes.
So Gestlife, can you tell me a little bit of Gestlife itself, what you're doing, what company it is, what kind of services you offer, and then we jump straight into our first question about singles.
Of course.
do you want to start?
Yeah, of course. So Gestlife, we're actually the oldest company in the sector. We have more than 12 years experience, and we're also the first surrogacy company in Europe. We carry out the dreams of more than 500 happy parents every year. So it is a great opportunity. It is a great thing that we do. And I'm personally very fortunate. I feel fortunate to be able to do this. I like helping people, and we help them, not only help them, but help them in something that is so special and unique as creating our own family. So it is a great opportunity to be able to help people every day.
Yeah. I only ever get a little glimpse of that.
Yeah.
So every time someone mentions that, I'm so happy, and it is a really nice experience, and especially at Wish for Baby when you see so many different couples and singles, and from so many different like places in their life where they are with their journey and all of that. It's always nice to just see everyone talking to everyone and meeting the right person for them. That's so nice. Surrogacy comes with a lot of legal requirements, right? So that's one of the big things that in different countries there's different law, and Germany there's law where it says surrogacy is illegal, for example. I have to mention this now and again. But often you think about a couple doing surrogacy, but what if a single person wants to do surrogacy? What are the legal requirements?
Yeah. Well, for single parents, we offer a wide range of countries where this process is allowed. Some examples include Colombia, the US, Albania, and Mexico, all of which permit and regulate surrogacy. Each country has its specifications and characteristics. So essentially, to thoroughly research the specific legislation and jurisprudence on a case-by-case basis.
I think that's so important, isn't it? To be sure when you start the journey to know that it's different in every single country, and to be sure that you know which country you're starting with and what country you're in as well, because not everyone is German, obviously. Because that obviously
in Germany, and even in Germany, there are many people with other nationalities, and then it's like, okay, I'm German, but actually I have I don't know. I have a Serbian passport or something completely different, and it's very, very many individual cases. Yes.
That's a really good point, and I love that you mentioned that because obviously, like I live in the UK, I have a German passport, so for me it would also be different and complicated.
Exactly.
So yes, that's a
Yeah.
very good point. When you started, I know that so many parents that come to or want to be parents, future parents that come to Wish for Baby, they want to have a like realize their dream and want to have information about it, and they always either they went through a really long process already and they're quite I don't know, emotionally burdened, I want to say, or they're like gay and really straightforward and are like super excited about it, but they want to start now. That's what they all have in common. They want to start now, they want it to be done now, and they want to have their baby in 9 months.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Ideally.
Something
But
that we have to remain that it's impossible. I mean, nearly impossible.
so what are the kind of timelines and processes we're realistically looking at? I think that's a really important question as well, apart from the legal side of things.
Correct. Yes. So typically, it takes between 18 to 24 months. The duration depends really on the availability of the parents for the first trip, then the selection of a donor, if necessary, and whether the surrogate becomes pregnant on the first or a second attempt is required. So therefore, it is crucial to work with agencies and clinics offering unlimited transfers, as both parties aim for the surrogate to become pregnant as soon as possible. So it is important to understand that it doesn't take 9 months because we have to prepare. It is a very serious process, and we have to put in a lot of preparation for it to go as well as possible also.
Yeah, I think people underestimate that a lot. That it takes time and that it's not magic, sadly. I wish it was, because that would make life so much easier.
Yes.
It's still biology, and same with a normal pregnancy or normal IVF cycle, it can fail. I think that's a really, it's just something that happens. It's biology after all. You've
It is
mentioned
a natural process, and we have to remember that. We can't control. We control all that is controllable, but it is a natural process, and so we have to respect the laws of nature. And the parents have to understand that, even if they're in a hurry. I can assure you, these 18 to 24 months end up going very quickly in most cases.
Yeah, I guess you will be so busy preparing, like you said, you have to do a lot of tests. I assume you have to fill out lots and lots of legal documents and all of these kind of things that just go with the process.
Correct.
But one other question I get asked all the time is about the cost, obviously. So I will just ask you straight up. Surrogacy costs a lot of money. What is it like with Gestlife when you enter a contract?
Well, first of all, we have to understand the costs and why it is very expensive also. It involves many, many parties. We have the surrogate, we have egg donors or sperm donors if necessary, the clinics with the embryologists, laboratories, preservation of genetic material, medications for stimulating the surrogate and the donor, and then the pregnancy follow-up visits in the best hospitals, and compensation for the surrogates, the lawyers to ensure that all parties' rights are represented and guaranteed, and all the administrative expenses for the necessary documentation. It is very complex and with many parts involved. So that is the answer why the cost is so high. The contract itself with Gestlife is very comprehensive. It's a very long contract, and it always defines in detail the services of all parties involved, specifying what each party does and the cost of each provider very clearly and very distinctly. And well, in each country there are different prices because, well, we all know it's different. The standard of living and the cost of living in Germany compared to if you go to Albania or Colombia, it's very, very different. So that's why there are also different prices in each country. Okay.
I think I think that's a good point of saying like it's different in each country, because you kind of think, for example, the US is what you hear the most about. And then next is, or used to be, Ukraine, which obviously is now changing with the circumstances. But they are so different in price, obviously, which people, it is hard to talk about money when you talk about the process, but it's just, it's important to understand why and where the costs come from.
Exactly. Yes.
I'm just reading my magic notes. Because sometimes I'm like, completely know all the questions, and sometimes I'm like, so what was the next ones?
For us, it's the same. Don't worry. Yeah.
we haven't talked about guarantees for future parents. You mentioned that earlier a little bit. That's why I was thinking, how can I make this work and sound really natural, which I now ruined. But we were talking about guarantees for future parents and why this is important. And I know when Germans hear guarantee programs, they flinch. It's just something they don't quite grasp, and they don't quite understand why this is a good thing, maybe, and not a bad thing. Can you explain a little bit about that? That would be interesting.
Of course, yeah. Well, as I'm the legal representative of Gestlife, I can talk widely about this. Well, our legal team ensures that the entire process follow the legal regulation of the chosen country. Our providers' quality standards are the highest, so they always advise by the best professionals. Before offering the program, there have been months of legal research to ensure that a country is accessible for this type of process. So that's why we have a lot of work here in the office. We've been studying for example, Albania. We've been studying for years Albania before starting and offering the process. The same happened with Colombia. Before starting to go to Colombia, we studied the regulations, the whole procedure to obtain the documents, the registration of the babies once they are born, and everything before we offer the program to the parents. So in that sense, I think everybody should be calm and relaxed and trust in us, because we have done our work of legal research.
That's amazing. I think that's so important because, like we said, the law is different in each country. It changes all the time. Like even in Germany, they're talking about changing it. And it's the same in all countries around the world. And to keep up with that takes a lot of research and a lot of time as well. So that's an important point. My final question and my favorite question, and I will ask this for each of you to answer. So think while one of you goes first. Is what kind of tips could you give to someone who starts the journey? Because I think you are the experts, right? You're doing this day to day. You're meeting so many future parents. You must have some amazing tips that you can give someone that's thinking about doing this.
I would say the most important would be to contact Gestlife and to be able to have the best advice as possible. And we're really here to help. We don't sell anything. We're here to help people fulfill their dreams. And it is something that we all are very emotionally involved in. So it is a great opportunity. We're really looking forward to the fair. The last fair in Cologne that we went, we have already confirmed many processes. So we've helped many wanting to be parents to fulfill their dream. And they've already started the process. They have already done their first trip. So to go and contribute their genetic material. So it is really beautiful to see how the dreams of people come true and we help them. So that is really satisfying.
Yeah, for me is to let them know that we are here. We have done our legal research. We are a law office. So, for example, I talk for myself and my team, the legal part. We are very specialized in surrogacy, and with our colleagues from other countries, we have the best knowledge about surrogacy laws. So just be relaxed and trust us.
Yes, well, from my part, definitely I agree with get good information. Many parents come to us and they've tried to research in internet, and obviously you find so much information, and sometimes contradicting, and they're very confused. And it's really about, okay, finding someone who can explain, okay, now these are the laws at the moment,
Yeah.
because we also mentioned they change all the time. So that's also why we find contradicting information. To really know, okay, this is reliable information for now, and to really like, and with this information, I hopefully future parents I talk to, I really want them to feel inside themselves like, okay, is this the right path for me now with the correct information? And the cases, the parents who do proceed, it's really beautiful seeing when they do the first step and the first trip to donate the material, and they see the excitement and the hope in many cases to be like, okay, this dream really can come true. That's always magical.
Yeah, I can agree with her, and also add that the parents change from what they were until they have the baby. They completely change. They are completely different persons, and they are a better version of themselves. So seeing that is what is worth from our work.
Yeah, I mean, it happens to everyone who gets, who becomes a parent in a way. And I have two children of my own, so I know what it means to become a mom, and to offer this possibility to others where it's not that easy, be it for medical reasons or because you're a homosexual couple. It's very nice to give them this possibility.
And last, if I can add, the most important tip I would actually personally give is to do the process in a country where there is a law on surrogacy or a jurisdiction where our parents have all the legal guarantees, but not only our parents, but also their future baby. That is the most important, because there are some countries that are offered or you can find on the web where there is no law or jurisdiction, and where the parents are not aware of the risks they go through. So that would be maybe the most important advice.
Yeah.
Could you name, that's me not asking more questions after I said this is the final question. Could you name some of the countries where you say this is the case? Because that's obviously quite interesting for our listeners. And I mean, people can talk to you at the event about it for hours, but just to name a few where this is possible.
For example, I mean, I do recommend the US, Mexico, Colombia, Albania, Ukraine, Georgia, and Greece, for example.
Interesting. And that obviously depends on your situation, and if you're single, if you're married, if you're, in a couple, heterosexual, homosexual, and all of these kind of things are being then,
Exactly. It depends on the law that they have in their country. So yeah, it depends on the law. They can go to one country or another. So yeah.
I think
every destination have different restrictions or requirements. So it is important to really have a long talk with the parents to know their specific situation, because each parent is different. They have a different story and they have a different situation. And depending on their situation, some countries will allow them to do the process there, and others will not.
Exactly.
I think that's so important to point out. And yeah, it's one of the most important things, isn't it? Because people just hear about one country and it's not suitable for them as well. And the other important thing is that I like to point out, surrogacy is for everyone. There's no restrictions. Everyone that wants to have a baby, there will be a path for you. I think Germans are now slowly medium-paced learning that hetero couples can also do surrogacy, and singles as well, which is really nice to see, and just opens up more options for people. So just to want to point that out now and again, because people always hear it and think gay couples, but it's for everyone that wants to explore more about this path.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. Yes, I think you're completely right.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. I know it's you're all super, super busy, so thank you for being here and answering some questions. Thank you for coming to Berlin. And I think today I did a countdown, it's 29 days, so don't panic.
What?
Okay.
Oh my God, we are so excited to go.
I'm so excited as well. It feels like ages away, but it really isn't. It's only 29 days, and I think we can manage. So
It's
thank you so
nothing.
much. And everyone that
you.
wants to talk to these guys, come to the event. It's free. Download your ticket and just don't be shy. Just ask all your questions. It's so important that you're really, really, really informed before you make your decisions. So thank you so much and see you
Thank
in Berlin.
you. Bye bye.
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 Bye.